Hey everybody, how's it going? This is The Nightmare Man. This is episode number 2. Last episode took me by surprise quite a lot. It was more aimed toward adult than I actually expected it to be. I genuinely thought this was going to be like another children's Moondial type story, but it isn't at all. And to be honest, that actually makes a lot of sense after seeing that it was a series which was constructed and thought up of and based on a source material and then developed by Robert Holmes. So as soon as I saw that, I was like, oh, okay, this might be darker than I expected it to be. I at first thought it was going to be Loch Ness Monster related, and I assumed that at some point we'd probably get a lot of familiar Doctor Who faces in this, but we didn't really get that much in the first episode. It was more setting up what was going to happen, and we saw how there was this woman who arrived on the island and she was murdered, but we didn't see her getting murdered, but we did later see the Canadian photographer getting murdered at the end of the last episode, and we're now having to try and figure out who it is that's doing these killings. Is it a man? Is it an animal? We're getting teeth moles to see if that helps in any way, but it's going to be cool to see how much of this is kind of supernatural, really, because my first thought when they were doing the teeth moles was, what if this is like werewolf? That'd be cool, but I don't know if they're going to go down that route with it, so it's going to be interesting to see if they do. I'm going to get on into this. Let's go. Oh, you don't really see taps like that these days, do you? Hang on about. What be that now? Radiation? Oh, that was weird. Please don't hurt the dog. Shit. Oh no. Bloody hell. Are they going to find all their sheep dead?
Once you finish that, I'm away to my bed.
I expect you're ready for it.
Why are that older
you?
couple still up at midnight? Bloody hell.
You're up late with Fiona.
We'd had dinner at the hotel. Look at this. It's incredible.
What do you make of it?
It'll be clearer when I've made a cast, but
I thought that's what he was doing.
see here. There are no upper incisors. Just this ridge.
Oh, there's no creature on this earth has a bite like that.
Not that you know of.
Turtles have.
It ain't going to be a turtle, is
I'm
it?
suggesting it was done by tap.
Do you get turtles in Scotland?
No. Well, I don't know what I'm suggesting, really. Some sort of related creature, perhaps?
Such as?
Something that lives in the water.
Well, I'm only speculating, but I do believe there are creatures in the sea that no man has ever set eyes on.
Oh, we saw that at the start with the lady getting off the
It's a
boat.
nice
There was
thought to
something in
take
the
home to
water.
bed, young man.
If it is the Loch Ness Monster.
A man-eating sea monster.
She's 38.
Was 38.
Yes, sir. Got divorced last year. She and her husband stayed in Carlisle, ran a chain of boutiques in the Lake District.
Oh.
Were there any other passengers aboard?
A man called Howard.
I
He's booked
met-
in at the hotel.
I met Colonel Howard. Anything else?
No, sir.
Right, I'll tell you what I want you to do. Get on the blow to HQ. Tell me to chase up old Angus Duncan. Find out if he saw anything going on between Colonel Howard and Mrs. Anderson.
Right, sir.
Oh, and ask if he
'Cause they
took
were
a
on the
passenger
boats
back to the
together?
mainland on the return trip.
Right, sir.
Oh, and put out a cheque for Mr. Anderson.
Sir.
Good night, Tom.
Oh, thanks. I've got the lads doing a search and I took Beard up some breakfast.
How is PC Beard?
He just looked
He is
freezing.
not a happy man.
A policeman's lot is not a happy one, Tom. Truest bloody word ever written.
We had a phone call from Mr. McLeod this morning.
Oh, aye.
One of his sheep have been killed.
Oh. No one's found the photographer yet. What's in a little hood?
You're out and about early?
I took a walk with this. Is that coffee?
Aye.
Why did you do that?
I was up in the night. Had the damn thing registering.
Yeah.
By itself?
We checked the stores yesterday, didn't we? Some dozy beggar left it in here and forgot to switch it off.
Sorry, Inigo.
Anyway, there it was, clicking away to itself like crazy.
Mm-hmm.
There's nothing radioactive in here.
It wasn't in here. It was outside through that wall.
Yeah.
And?
Oh, nothing really. There was a faint trace of radioactivity here and there. I couldn't find the source.
What lies north of here?
Well, it's just moorland. It's empty. We've lost touch with the mainland, you know.
What do you mean? Since when?
The fog.
Sometime during the night. I had to switch it off eventually, you know. Well, I was going to tell you.
I should bloody well hope so.
Oh, so we're
No idea
isolated.
what's
We're
going on.
totally screwed.
You know, it sounded like deliberate jamming to me.
Simmons, Coast Guard invadee.
Oh, bloody hell. Oh.
Simmons, Coast Guard invadee. Over.
He said he saw something coming out of the sky this morning. I reckons it was a flying saucer. The man got out and ran away. Have you got that?
Oh, bless.
You know, Jimmy's a terror for seeing things, Sarge. Always has been. Over.
Well, there might be something in it.
I like
and then
how they
again, there
smile
might
when they
not be.
talk about this.
Just
This is
get him
actually
to show
quite
you where it
cool.
landed. Over and out.
What's in the box?
Oh, this is what kept me up till 3. It was Mrs. Anderson, by the way. This is a cast of the impressions I took.
Of her teeth.
Of a bite on her shoulder. Now then. Normal human characteristics when viewed from the side, you see. But from the front, it's just this ridge in place of the upper incisors.
What on earth is it?
I don't know. I just hope it's something artificial.
What, you mean some kind of dental work?
The canines are definitely human.
But the rest isn't.
I wonder if it's possible that somebody here could be doing genetic experiments.
Is Colonel Howard on the way?
The Colonel was on his way when I came in, Inspector.
Where was he going?
Now, how would the man be leaving in this weather, Mr. Inskip? No, he's gone for a walk along the beach, he said.
Thank you.
I still don't trust him, though. There's something about him that kind of... I don't know. Maybe he's involved in these experiments somehow, and he was maybe sent here to keep an eye on things.
Morning, Colonel Howard. Inspector Inskip.
Oh, how do you do?
Well, you're up bright and early this morning.
Yes, just a stroll before breakfast.
You're not going to
I
see
understand
much in
you
this
came over on
weather.
the TriStar yesterday.
Yes, that's quite right.
There was another passenger aboard,
A lady.
a Mrs. Anderson. You didn't happen to speak to her by any chance, did you?
When he got off the
No,
boat.
not really. As a matter of fact, I think I got the brush off.
You mean you did try to speak to her?
Exactly. Well, it's a very small cabin, and there were only the 2 of us sitting in it, so I tried to make a few polite remarks.
What kind of polite remarks, sir?
Well, I said, it's a nice day, and she said, lovely. And I said, I hoped we'd have a smooth crossing, and she said yes. And then she took a book out of her bag and started reading.
That's not
That's
like
all.
a sign at all, is it?
Pair of you
Like
sat
that
for over
you
an
don't
hour
want
without
someone to
saying a word
speak
to
to
one
you.
No. After about 20 minutes, I went out on deck and stayed there till we came into harbour.
You didn't happen to notice if she seemed disturbed in any way? Worried, perhaps?
No, I didn't. Inspector,
She
why are
was
you
anxious
asking
when
me
she
these
got off the
questions?
boat. She looked
Just inquire,
anxious.
sir. Did you see her again when you went ashore?
One of the crew helped her onto the quay with her bags, and when I left, she was standing there, waiting for transport.
Yes.
You didn't say anything to her, eh?
Well, I just said goodbye and smiled. She didn't even notice. But something happened to her.
She dead.
What unit are you with, sir?
I'm awaiting a fresh posting.
See, this
Did it
police
upset
dude's a
your
bit like
mind?
me. He's like, this guy, there's something about him.
Lord, no. You can't win them all, as they say.
Yes, well, thank you, sir. We had a report this morning of a sheep being savaged. Torn to bits, in the farmer's words. And he doesn't think it was the work of a dog. Do you think it could be our Looney?
Mm-hmm.
Bring me the body and I'll tell you. I suppose anything's possible.
Yes, but surely there's a world of difference between murder and slaughtering sheep.
You may also
To
want
the
to
sane
speak
mind.
to a vet.
Yes.
Jimmy Forbes saw what he thought was a flying saucer early this morning, sir. Landed out beyond old Matheson's croft.
Or no.
Jamie Forbes and a flying saucer. That's all I need.
Well, for once he was nearly right about something.
He said he saw a man get out of it and ran away.
Early this morning. How early?
About 5 o'clock, sir.
What the hell was Jamie doing out at old Matheson's place at that time of the morning?
Ah, you know, Jamie wanders around at all hours.
Well, Mr. Gaffigan.
Oh,
what do you
jeez.
Oh, it looks like an army shoot. I don't know this particular pattern. You say a man ran away?
Yes.
According to Jamie.
What's
They must
going
be
on
crazy.
here?
Suicidal to make a night jump in these conditions.
Dove Cottage, where Mrs. Anderson was murdered.
Oh, jeez.
Botry Woods, where you found the body.
Mm.
MacLeod's farm, where the sheep was torn to bits. Simmons, who isn't answering his radio.
The hell was that?
What?
Looks to me like something the neighbours mislaid.
There's a camp just up this gully here.
Yeah.
Hold on, Fiona, that's far enough. McGrath.
My God, Inskip.
Nothing human did that.
This just took a turn that never even crossed my mind. Seeing that there was this guy who called the police station and reported seeing a UFO and something running away from it. And the way they kind of were like, the police officer was smiling on the phone and they were like, oh, he's harmless. He sees things all the time. For us only to then go find this craft on the beach and us now thinking there's possibly been experiments being going on. It could be an alien. The parachute's probably connected to that at some point. Something's possibly landed in the sea and then, you know, come ashore and then some figures ran off. We saw how the creature, the nightmare man, that we haven't even seen yet. We've just seen their point of view. It killed a sheep in the same manner as it killed the bird watcher and the lady on the boat. And then, you know, we've got all of these theories flying about as to what the hell it could be, what's happened. We've got the Coast Guard picking up radiation, and it could be a case of whoever was in that vehicle's been exposed to radiation, and that's why they're able to do what it is they've been doing. And this is just like nothing that I expected whatsoever. It completely took me by surprise. But the one thing I don't trust is this colonel. This colonel seems to be just shifty. Like, he's on the moors, he's outside the police station, he's over by the beach where the lady got off the boat, and then he just happens to be really casual about things. They're putting it down to his military training. But when they were talking about experiments and things like that, and the Navy maybe being involved, we know this colonel was involved in the army, though not necessarily in the Navy. And he just seems to be in these places where I'm like, I think he's been sent here possibly to maybe find what this thing is, because something's got loose or tried to escape from somewhere. And he's been sent here to try and track it down and find it before too many murders occur, really. We're already on to 2, plus a sheep. So I'm wondering how many more deaths we're going to get before we discover what actually is going on. I may go watch part 3 and I will see you guys later, so thank you.